Well, you got caught with a flat world. How about that? Well, babies, don't you panic. By the light of the night.
Hello my friends, and welcome back to my little channel here on YouTube. This is my little Halloween edition, I guess, video, because it is now spooky time. I am personally not a huge Halloween fan, just because I get the heebie-jeebies very quickly and very easily. But Rocky Horror Picture Show is one of my newfound favorites, and so I wanted to do something to celebrate that. That being said, if I could do any video I've ever made so far and keep the original soundtrack, like playing behind my talking, it would 100% be this. I am so sad that I can't play the soundtrack without getting, copyrighted, which makes me really sad. But anyway, I really hope you enjoy this video. I really love Rocky Horror Picture Show, and I'm sure you do too. So yeah, without further ado, please enjoy the video. So if you haven't seen Rocky Horror Picture Show, first of all, you are sadly missing out. It is great. Second of all, it is a rated R movie / play, so if you are under the age of 17, obviously consult a parent about watching it. I don't want to tell you to go watch it, if you're 13 years old or whatever, watching this video. So please, don't break rules. But that being said, if you are 17 or older, or, if your parent says it's okay or whatever, it really is such a great show. If you haven't listened to any of the music yet, I would 10 out of 10 suggest listening to just the soundtrack. The soundtrack itself is really incredible. That was actually first how I became acquainted with it. I had never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show up until about a month ago, I think, is when I first saw it. And it was because I was listening to some other musical, I don't remember what it was, on Spotify, and I finished the soundtrack list, and so it pulled up one of the amazing shows, or one of the amazing songs from the show, and I was like, wow, this is a really good song, so I looked it up. I rented it on Amazon, and you can do the 48-hour rentals or whatever. I rented it on Amazon, and it's just a super great show, and yeah, so I would definitely recommend watching it. One of the reasons I think it's so great is because of Tim Curry. If you don't know who Tim Curry is, he's the guy who plays Dr. Frankenfurter. He is just an incredible performer. I just watching him perform. He just takes up all of the space. He is, in my opinion, what every performer seeks to be. I never was a professional or anything like that at all, but in high school and middle school and all that kind of stuff, I did musical theater as a kid, and then when I got older I got into dance, ballet and tap and all that kind of stuff, and I've kind of been around it my whole life, so I'm definitely not a professional or anything like that, but I would say I definitely have more knowledge than the average person in terms of performance and musical theater and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I don't really know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but if you watch his performance, especially the very first song that he sings, which I actually don't think I can say the title of, because I think if I say the title of it, YouTube will say that this is a inappropriate video, which I guess I kind of understand, but also not really. But so yeah, if you know what the song's called, you'll understand what I'm saying. But yeah, I don't think I can say it without getting flagged as age restricted content or whatever. But that first song that he sings, literally, I'm just in awe of his performance and just the way that he commits to that role. He is Dr. Frankenfurter. When he's performing that, he is not Tim Curry any longer. He's surpassed regular humans. He is Dr. Frankenfurter. That's who he is, and his performance is just incredible. And I want to get everybody else's opinion, if you understand what I'm talking about, or if you agree or disagree or whatever, please let me know, because I was talking to my boyfriend. I made him watch Rocky Horror Picture Show, and he didn't agree with me. He basically said that the reason he takes up all the space and the reason he seems so great is because of the camera angles. And I kind of agree, but also I disagree. I think it has to do with the camera angles, but also it is his performance, in my opinion. So if you agree with me or disagree or whatever, please let me know, because it's just something that I thought was really interesting. So yeah, the sad thing about Tim Curry, I think he had a stroke a few years ago. I was researching him a little bit after watching the movie, and I'm pretty sure he had a stroke, and it's kind of made it difficult for him to perform as much as he used to, which is of course really sad on just a human level, that he had to go through something like that, and just he is such a talented human being. Anyway, I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent, to be honest. I was just thinking about this, and I was kind of wondering if anybody else knows what I'm talking about in this sense. But I feel like there's certain people, like certain performers especially, that just are like larger than life, in a sense, and they're just so talented. And the ones that I was thinking of was Tim Curry. I've seen a few other things that he's done. I know he was in like Criminal Minds and a few other things, but he's just such a great performer. And I was also thinking of Robert Williams, and oh my gosh, the guy who played Severus Snape, his name is blanking. I'm gonna go look it up, and I will be right back. Alan Rickman is his name. I feel ashamed for having forgotten his name. I honestly don't know how I forgot his name. Like, that was just stupidity, honestly. But yeah, Robin Williams and Alan Rickman are two actors that I personally feel like, same thing, like they're just larger than life, And unfortunately, both Robin Williams and Alan Rickman have passed away within the past few years. And to me, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like, I remember where I was when they both passed away, because I was kind of like an older teenager, Alan Rickman passed away when I was a senior in high school, and I think Robin Williams as well was, I think, when I was like the summer before junior year or something, and I just remember like exactly where I was when I heard that they had passed away, and it's kind of a crazy thing to think about, because in all honesty, I've never met either of them, and like, I have no personal connection to them. They have no idea who I am. But just like when they passed away, it was such like a heartbreak. And I don't know if other people feel like this. I get the feeling other people do. But yeah, I just think it's kind of crazy how somebody you've never met, can have such an impact on you. I don't know. Yeah, let me know if you feel like that as well, because it's kind of a weird thing to talk about, especially on like a Sims YouTube game video. But yeah, I was thinking about it. That being said, I don't know if anybody else has heard, but they are supposedly making a Mrs. Doubtfire musical, and I am so pumped. Mrs. Doubtfire was like my favorite movie when I was a kid. We used to have it on VHS tape, and I was kind of like, my age group, we were like the cutoff of VHS, where it kind of went out when I was maybe in like elementary school. But yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire with Robin Williams, literally greatest movie I've ever seen. I don't understand how people haven't seen it yet. It's just too incredible for life. So I'm super pumped about the musical. Anyway, I've gone off on a huge tangent. The moral of the story is Tim Curry is incredible, and I love him, and I am amazed by his performance as Dr. Frankenfurter. If you haven't heard the soundtrack, listen to the soundtrack. It really is such a great soundtrack. The songs are just so like lovable and catchy, and I probably know the words to all of them, even though I only started listening to them like a few weeks ago, which is honestly a little bit pathetic, but it's also like where I am at this point in my life. I listen to it like when I take a shower, when I'm doing the dishes, all that kind of stuff. And another little mini tangent, I guess, something I'm really sad about, like so bummed, is that if you don't know, when people play Rocky Horror Picture Show in movie theaters now, they usually do like a live performance in front of it. I personally haven't seen that. I've only seen the movie version, and the old movie version, not the new movie version with Laverne Cox, only the one with Tim Curry. And when I first saw it, I wanted to see if there was any like live versions coming up, that I could watch. And there's one that's playing on Halloween night in the city that I live in. But unfortunately, I have class that night, and my class ends 30 minutes after the show starts. And so I'm so bummed. I'm so upset because I want to watch it so bad. I want to go. But, I can't miss class. It's just not a good idea. So I'm so upset. I'm so sad. I'm hoping it'll come back soon. because I really feel like I'm missing out and I'm super sad. So yeah, now I have to figure out what I'm going to do for Halloween, which, to be honest, I probably won't do anything because I do have class. But yeah, if you're doing anything fun for Halloween, let me know because I'm kind of interested. So I've gone off on like a 10-minute tangent, and I feel like I should now kind of update you about like what's actually going on in the build. Yeah, I feel like that's probably a good idea. I tried to keep this build as close to the movie as possible. Certain things, of course, you just can't, like, it's not a thing, you know? So, like, we don't have elevators, so the iconic elevator that Dr. Frankenfurter comes out of, I couldn't do that. So I basically just did, like, a little room with some similar looking windows. It obviously doesn't lead anywhere because it's not actually an elevator, but I was just trying to make it look as close as possible, so hopefully, yeah, hopefully you like that decision. Sorry. Hopefully you like that decision because that was kind of the best I could come up with. Other than that, the other thing that's probably not totally realistic is that I ended up doing 2 different stages. One for when they do the time warp in the very beginning, where they, you know, it has like the sky looking wallpaper and he has that cool chair. And then I ended up doing a second one for when they do the pool scene at the very end, which in all honesty, I'm pretty sure they intended for that to be the same like stage, you know, but because of the pool and like the layout, I couldn't do that. So there are 2 different stages. They look pretty similar, but they're not exactly the same. I just felt like I couldn't leave out the pool because, again, it is fairly iconic. Anyway, the laboratory too, I was so excited we had the pink tiles because that was the biggest thing when I was thinking about making this for a Halloween special. I was kind of like, if there's no pink tiles, like, I can't do this, you know, like, that's like iconic. Like, you can't do the lab with something else. So I was so excited that was there. I was also super excited that you'll see later, I was able to find red pipes to put in as like a decoration, which was super exciting because, again, like, there's nothing in that room. Like, you know, there's no purpose to it. There's no bed or like fridge or anything like that. But you have to have it, you know. That being said, also, if you saw me putting the lights underneath that like white slab thing, the white slab thing is supposed to be like, you know, the thing that Rocky comes out of. I don't really know what you would call that. But, so I put the lights there because if you remember, it's like rainbow colored, and we really honestly don't have anything like that in the game. So in the screenshots, you'll see that I made the lights rainbow. So it kind of gives a similar effect. Again, not perfect, but it was kind of the best thing that I could come up with. Right now, we're doing the room for the 2 girls. Again, you only really see it once, so it really is kind of stupid, but I just had to put it in. The room we just did a few minutes ago was Riff Raff's room, because he has to sleep somewhere, you know, like, even though he's like this weird, like, half-dead looking creepy guy, like, he still has to sleep somewhere, you know? One thing I was kind of sad about that you're not going to be able to see from the screenshots is that if you look at the Frankenstein Place pictures, like, from the movie, is you'll see that there's like that dome looking thing that's supposed to be the laboratory. You know, it has like that kind of weird blue color when Janet and Brad are looking at it from the outside. And even though I did like the glass ceiling with the new roofing that we have from the Seasons update, you know, there's only so much that I could do to make it look proper. So if you look from the side, you can see it, but the front you can't. And again, that was just one of those things where I was like, you know what, this is just going to be the best that it's going to be, and you just kind of have to, you just got to go with it. Also, I'm going to go back to my, actually, first, I'm doing the giant picture of Eddie. If you, again, have seen the movie, there's like this weird mural thing in their room of Eddie for some reason. And of course, I couldn't do it perfectly because it's black and white in the film, and there's no black and white giant picture of a guy in the Sims catalog, but again, just had to kind of do my best. Anyway, I'm going back to my tangent that I had like a few minutes ago about musicals. If you have any musical recommendations, please let me know. I really like Rocky Horror Picture Show, as I have mentioned, obviously. I also really like the musical Heathers. The movie I liked with, oh my gosh, what's her name? Winona Ryder, I believe. The movie was okay. The musical, in my opinion, was 10,000,000 times better. So yeah, I like that. I have also been getting into Chicago, the musical, which is really cool. So yeah, if you have any recommendations of musicals that you think I should watch or listen to, please let me know. That being said, I feel like people are just going to say Hamilton because that's what everybody always says, but I have this thing where I can't really get into musicals unless I've seen it. Like, I can't just get into the soundtrack personally, and I'm not about to shell out, you know, however much it costs to get a Hamilton ticket, if I could even get one. So yeah, please don't say Hamilton because I can't afford that. Yeah, let me know something that's like on DVD or something that's a little bit more accessible to the average college student, please. And then another thing that I really want to bring up is, and it'll probably be out of date by the time that I post this video, because I'm going to post this in a few weeks, but the Sims Maxis team just had a Twitch live stream about some of the stuff that's coming up in October, and I am pumped. You have probably heard of it by now, by the time I post this video, but we are getting terrain editing tools, and I am stoked. I'm so excited to see what everybody comes up with now that there's terrain editing. Yeah, I really, like, I don't know what else to say about this exciting news because, like, my excitement is just, like, all I can say is that I'm excited, you know? Hopefully by the time this video comes out, there will be a release date for the update because basically all they said at this point, it's early October when I'm recording this, is that to check back on their socials within the week. So hopefully they will say when the update is coming, and hopefully the update is coming soon, because I feel like we've all waited 13 years in Azkaban for this update, and it just hasn't come yet. You know, the update for terrain tools. So I'm super pumped. I'm really hoping that by the time I post this, the update has already happened, in which case, you know, yay. I will soon be using the terrain tools to make a house upload. If it hasn't come yet, I will be sad, but also, like, it's okay, it's coming. Anyway, I have rambled enough for this video. I apologize about this. I, like, was super excited about everything. I also just had some caffeine. Anyway, yeah, I hope you really like this video. I really enjoyed doing this video. I really enjoyed researching it, and by researching it, I mean continuously watching videos from Rocky Horror Picture Show, which was super exciting and fun. If you have any suggestions or comments or questions or whatever, please let me know. I really appreciate the feedback. That being said, I hate to be this person, but also YouTube has notified me that a lot of the people who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed. So again, I hate to be this person, but like if you're watching my videos, please subscribe. It'll make me really happy. It'll make my day. And yeah, anyway, I'm getting to the end of this, so I hope I get to see you next time. And I also hope that you have a nice day. Bye.
How'd you do? I see you've met my faithful handyman. He's just a little brought down because when you knocked, he thought you were the candy man.